Yep. What's going on, everybody? Woo! Get ready to jump on this here call in a few minutes. I gotta use the restroom, get me a cold drink, yada, blah, 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 blah. So we're gonna do all that while you guys get situated and prepared for some crazy fuckery. Woo! Well, hello. How are we doing today? Good, Kevin. You're in a different office. It looks like you're in a different office from the one I saw last time we met. I remember you saying you had some stuff going on there as far as Well, how's business going? How's everything going for you guys? Well, that was the original plan, and it's got kicked back a couple weeks. So Dell's one of our bigger clients, and their print service, we have to time that out. So, um, waiting on a few things before Navicore could kick in. I was really hoping it'd happen in June 27th. The move, I can't move some of the servers just yet. Um, so hopefully as soon as July. But what I wanted to talk about was, um, you know, because the service J being the service desk for my clients as well, this has been a pretty big impact, and I can show you how it's impacted the quality and how it's kind of hurt us. But again, I try to leave. We have an ugly closet that's full of crap, and we keep that door shut when we have company over, and we try to make things look as clean as possible, right? And right now things are pretty damn messy. Like I'm talking about business in general. I'm sorry, I don't mean to confuse. I'm using it as an analogy. Basically, with the lawsuits going on and everything going on, we're trying to minimize the effect it has on the client. Right now, our responses to clients have been hit. Not having the emails coming in a formal way. It looks very ghetto, I guess is another analogy to use. But I know we can get to a better place. I have a PSA ticketing system, this and that, but what we're looking to do, if we can, is nail in some things and iron some things out that need to be ironed out now. And it's my understanding that Jay's worked with you guys. You guys got agents on everything already as far as backups and being able to remotely monitor and support people, correct? Well, I definitely appreciate your stance on the partnership stuff. And until we can get all of that cleaned up and have a very steady foot forward, once Navicore is established, I hopefully with Navicore and the clients are fully transitioned off of Icora into Navicore. Um, Part of that, I have to have something different than what I had before. I can't shut down one company due to legal issues and fire up the same exact company over here, right? I can't. So no longer can I. The difference in the model is we're not providing services anymore. Client owns the services, and if they can't own it because we're hosting it off site or something, or the service with the workstations and the backups and everything, we're going to manage those costs because we have partners that we do certain things with. So, looking at this, Jay, how well is he versed in knowing about the technician situation with Sean? All right, so Sean's no longer here, right? His last day is this Friday, I guess. Is that right, Jay? Okay. Well, Jay's, we got Alan still, and we both use Alan to some degree. And I guess the talks is Alan is potentially going to go work under Summit, correct? Um, with that, if he becomes an employee at Summit, and we have an agreement between if Navicore and I guess Jay, you're going to keep Cincy PCS's name, or are you going to move to Cincy MSP? But the end game here is for Summit to be the end game, not that you're and for you to be part of. Okay, so I didn't. When we talked last, you were talking about you wanted to be your own LLC potentially. That's fair. So I guess where I'm going with this is that Jay essentially will become an account manager, I'm assuming, for clients. And let's just say, assuming Jay was his own entity just as a manager, account manager of tech plans that we support. Because that's essentially what I have is clients, and I'm their account manager, and I manage their tech plan and pay all their bills. Um, Once we move everything off of 3Z into 3Z, now we have our data center that takes care of one of my big components. The other big component is service desk and helping out. Now I need how many other MSPs or Johnny Ponytails do you work with that use you guys as support and everything else, and they're the ones that are the face of for the company? The company doesn't even know you guys. They go through this person, but they use you guys for support. Do you guys have others like that? Well, again, we're not talking about when we do partner. If we do partner, my hope, Kevin, is that what I do isn't just technology. What I do is identity as well. And your guys is summitdigital.net, correct? Is your guys is Summit Networking? Okay. So who right now manages your website? And that marketing company is, do you have an agency of record and they take care of all your social media? They take care of all your, and they got a good sales funnel for you? And you're telling me that sales funnel, at least Jay, I think Jay told me this at one point. Maybe I misheard, but is that something that you guys are struggling to keep up with? Like there's more work than you guys have people to throw at? Yeah. And who all manages this for you guys? Like who all does calls for potential clients? Are you on every one of those calls? Nobody else is doing it there? Okay. And how do you feel about having more than just you doing that? Yeah, I mean, they're looking for something and they're waiting for the right answer, and another company could say the right thing even though you're a better choice because we weren't there to answer a question or do something or fulfill something at that moment. And that's what it is, it's availability, right? Attention. That's the biggest, most valuable thing right now is getting people's attention. It's hard to in this crazy world with everything being the way it is. So I love hearing that you have that problem. Um, what I'm trying to do, Kevin, is I want everybody to know Summit. I want everybody to know that Summit is a service desk that takes care of matters for businesses. They're reactive and they do a great job and they're cost effective. And if you want them to be on your team, if you want them to be to manage your tech plan, because they use the master tech plan, like they can manage your tech plan, and you know what that means. Like that, I want that to become a household or business hold name, if that makes sense. And to do this, if you guys become the service desk, I know we've talked about there's some kind of flat fee for technicians or for us to have our matters dealt with. And do you guys do on sites? Like, does your technicians actually go on site? All right. And what's your guys' rate to go on site for a business? Let's say it's a general technician, standard technician that's probably can solve most problems. They go out there. What are we charging them an hour? Yeah, I mean, making it simple for the client, right? So for us, absolutely. Yep, that's a great way to go about it. And what we want is a great experience for everybody that works with us. In fact, Jay hates this when I say this, but I say if it's the first time someone's calling us, so we should be able to track that. That's something that we should have. Like they call us for a problem, we go out there and solve it. If we've done that before and they call again, we should be able to see that. And that should be part of our process when they call in, is for us to look up their profile and note it that they called in for whatever reason, because knowledge is power and we want to capture that as much as possible. But bottom line is the first time we work with somebody, I'm half tempted to do it all for free. Let's get out there. If it's like a server went down, let's get it up and running again and keep these guys on their toes. Just solve that problem, get out there, get it done. If we don't spend any money on parts, we were able to get them up and running again. Great. You called us, we came out here and solved it. Now, if you want to work with us moving forward, if you always want to have us on call, you need to have a subscription of some sort. So the first time, I'm open to helping somebody out. I'll even do some pro bono work. But if they want to continue calling us again and again, we need them to have some kind of plan. Now, we never had a true sales funnel, so I never got to really test that. That's just something that we did as a general rule as we went. And Jay, I feel like it's favored us well. We've landed, it's we don't do a lot of sales, but it's rare for us to lose somebody that we are talking to. I can think of two right now that we talked to in the past that just weren't quite ready to go with us. There was iffy. One of them was because the name wasn't right on the website versus what we legally put down on the. I can't remember that with that King law firm, Jay. The business name, because it's a Professional PC Solutions and you had it as Cincinnati PC Solutions, they just didn't feel like something was off there, so they chose somebody else as that, and they should have called us first because we could have showed them what happened. Anyway, bottom line is it's rare for us to lose it, but what I'm getting at here is we want everybody we work with to be on some kind of plan. You have a tech stack, you have a tech plan, it needs support, whether it's call us whenever you need us or whatever. Like if what I'm hearing from you, like if even if it's a retainer, buy 10 hours and use that up. You got to have something. If you've called us before and you want to keep calling us, you got to have some kind of, whether it's a block of 10 hours, a plan of some sort that we're managing your tech plan to some degree, whether it's your firewall only, whatever it is. But it's the initial foot in the door, and from there, once you become their IT person, like really, you're going to get all that budget, because it's up to you to whether you fuck it up or not, for them to go find somebody else. As long as you do a good job and you're practical and you're doing what's best for the company, you just build a relationship. And that's what we're all about. We want relationships, long-term relationships. So the way we're looking at this right now, we have roughly 40-ish, 35 to 40-ish tech plans that we're managing. We need a service desk to support that. And Jay and I are partners. I know he came and talked to you first, and there's been all this chit chat, whatnot. And sometimes I think Jay forgets, or he just doesn't truly understand how integrated the clients are. So it is hard for us to separate them. And I know they're may have been some tensions there with trying to figure all that out with not truly understanding the full relationship. What I can assure you is that my systems and my frameworks are golden, and I really hope that you will become. We want your agents on all of the computers and all the servers that we have, and we want to figure out what kind of fair price point that would be. We want your technicians to answer all of our 101 calls, and entry level phone, like what's the issue, and then if it's not easy to solve on the phone, then it gets handed off to the account manager. Or when's Alan going over there, Jay? Do you know? Do we have that figured out at all? So, Kevin, how do you feel about working with somebody that has control issues that wants to orchestrate things? Well, Jay is in the same. I would put Cincy PCS and what's going to be Navicore here soon. Jay, I think we should act as account managers for the MTP to give it a true and tried test. And I bet you if we figure this out pretty quickly, we can bring that little Miami guy over. We'll say, hey, listen, we've been working on it for the last couple of years, and we have a model. We have a new anchor service desk that we're working with in a new data center. Because the way I'm trying to spin this, Kevin, is my master tech plan I've developed allows somebody like Jay to have up to 5 to 7 managed accounts. And that's quite a bit of work right there. Because if you have 4 and they're all paying you the full $2,500 a month, that's 5 hours a week times 4. That's 20 hours a week right there for your clients, just to focus on your clients. That's half your week. That's a lot of work for one account manager. That would be the cap I would put on one account manager. That means half their week is working in sessions and developing things for all their tech plans, because they all have some things. And I can show you what having a tech plan means. And I want your clients. You said you liked the SharePoint stuff I was doing and how we basically manage the tech plan for the client within their tenant, where on a site that we develop for them and their leadership team works from, and hopefully adopts the admin pipeline, which is a change management system for them to track things going on internally. We're already tracking the IT department stuff in there. You can put HR stuff in there. You can put, administration, transportation, whatever your business does, manufacturing. As you're doing things for your business internally, not for a client, but for you, you got to get this done. You got to upgrade your machinery. You got to get a new vehicle, whatever it is, got to hire a new person. Having this admin pipeline for small businesses that we've worked with has been quite a value. Just having a SharePoint intranet where they can have employees fill out forms and get things done without getting up from their chair and going and talking to somebody or filling out a piece of paper. Like, we're really digitizing companies. We're transforming them into a digital workspace, a modern workforce. So to show you how we're managing clients, I could just manage my handful of clients by myself and charge them extra money and not look for any more clients, and just basically say I work for 4 businesses, and that's all I do. I have these 4 clients, and they're all happy with me, and I support them all and do everything myself. I'm trying to grow something big. I want MTP to be something everybody's talking about and everybody's using. We have developers helping build out an application for it. I got salespeople wanting to come from it. You already have a pipeline that's bringing in people. Like, if we can help make sure we don't lose any of that money and work together, yeah, that's what I'm looking to do. Empower us all to be awesome and make something huge, bigger than any of us. Is that too much energy? Is that too much for you? No, no. I'm going to share my screen real quick. Um, Unless there's anything that you guys want to stab at before I go into this. Okay, cool, cool. So right now, these are the businesses that we're looking at. I'm sorry, I didn't go grab your logo. I just found stupid things to help make it make sense. But anyway, we all have our clients. The 3Z's part of this mix as well. And I should add AP Schweitzer because he's actually, it's a tax and insurance company, and he does bookkeeping and payroll and things of that nature for businesses. And he's a licensed CPA, and he likes what we're doing. In fact, for his business, can you see my screen now? Is my screen showing? So we built him this cheesy little thing. They're not using the calendar or the updates yet, but they use this for all their drop offs for everybody that does taxes. So they have somebody sit up front, and tax season's over with. So that's fine. And there's nothing too sensitive here, just some contact information for their people. And this is on a general site that his team can see. And when people drop something off, they just put it in this list. And now, before he wasn't capturing any of this info, like people would just drop it off in a tray and they'd get it done, blah, blah. And now that he has, just by adding a few extra steps, they have this information. They've used this in so many campaigns already over the last few years since they've been using this. But not only that, but their tech plan here. If they want to see something, like if they want to see their invoices from us, they can come here and click here. Here's their invoices. They have their monthly services and anything for objectives, which are projects for us. And when you go into it, and we didn't start doing this until like a year ago, but again, making sure they can get to anything they need to. They're hosted QuickBooks VMs. Like, here's the information to get into those VMs, into their stuff. Now, this is a little bit sensitive information here, so don't be logging into any of these remote computers here, Kevin. I appreciate that. But yeah, this is all their. Having this list of files right here, all I got to do is dump this on someone's desktop, and they have all the icons they need for whatever. And we can get into automation where we set up a new computer. Now that we're getting more involved with Intra ID and all this stuff, we're able to push stuff through the admin center. It's pretty incredible, to be honest. I don't know if you've done much automation with Microsoft and how you can manage everything. And what the hell is that service called now? Intune. Intune's come a long way over the last 5 years. So, well, the bottom line is it's not going to happen overnight, like Kevin said. And I'm not looking for you to take all of your clients, put them on the MTP or anything like that. First thing we need to do is work with you guys so you understand what the MTP is before we even do that. And Kevin, as much as I talked about it so far, I guarantee you we haven't touched on, we're surface level. And all the policies, like Jay's big fear is that it's too big for the 4 of us to do. At the time, it was just the 4 of us. Picking a client, getting them a team site set up, and working with them forward is the way we would go about this. We'd pick one client at a time. We'd work with the account manager of that client, and we get them aligned with how we do things as far as the admin at the client domain. What Jay's bringing up right now is something we talked about yesterday, Jay and I met for a little bit, and these are our 8 services that we invoice for currently. When we look at the things that Jay and I need, if Jay's going to be an account manager taking care of his text plans, his tech stacks, he needs the machines to be monitored, and he needs service desks for things to happen. Especially if Alan's definitely going over there, Jay may not even be wanting to fix the problems. He may need beyond the 101 level support, right, Jay? The what's your problem? We'll have to get your account manager involved with that. Like, we have 3 tiers of issues. How do you guys manage your issues at the? Do you guys have tiered? Like, it's a tier 1 if it's this type of issue. It's a tier 2 if it's this type of issue. If it's tier 3, all hands on deck. Like, do you have anything like that? Yeah, we have 2 pipelines. I'm not trying to. You may be doing things exactly the way I do it. The labels just may be different. We have 2 pipelines. We have matters, which are service desk takes care of those. Everything should get funneled into one. Each one of the clients that fall underneath any of us, one of the ways that I'd like us to set them up is each client will have an admin and it'd be a paid licensed account in that tenant that we have control over. The account manager is responsible for that one. And then we have one for technicians. So tech at client domain. And whenever a technician needs to work with them, they'll log in. And the way this works is that let's say you're the account manager for this business Wegman company. When you log in, you're going to see at the top the address of this is an Edge profile that is set up with the admin ad account for this client. It's on their tenant. We use Edge because they use Edge licensing or Defender licensing. We keep everything secure and locked down. So by logging into this Edge profile with the admin account, now I have all the passwords and all the access I need through this browser to manage and do whatever I need to do for this client. I don't need to develop some app that'll allow me to manage all this. I don't need to, do all that. Just knowing how to set up an Edge profile for the account manager and then setting one up for the technicians, because technicians won't need access to some of these things on the back end. Like, will they need access to the actual PBX system? Yes. Will they need access to the licensing portion of Microsoft 365? No, that's an account manager thing. We only let account managers manage the licensing counts. If we want technicians, some technicians, because we've only had 1 or 2 always, right? With you having so many, I could see us having some that are trained and understand when it's okay to add a license without an account manager around, right? Like, I'm sure you guys have figured a lot of that out already, but understanding who gets to make what decisions is important. And the way we break everything down, it lays that out clearly for all tech plans. So what I'm hoping is if you're willing to, we're flexible and willing to change the terminology of the MTP to work with our anchors. You're an anchor. You're going to be, if any other Jay Gates comes up to me and says, I have all these, and we have a couple that we've talked to. If I get another Jay Gates come up to me, I have all these people that I'm supporting. It's just overwhelming me. I can't keep up. I can't keep up all the calls, and monitoring everything is too hard. Well, the MTP would be a great fit for you. You need to learn how it works. Are all of your clients on 365? Is that something they're willing to do? If not, and if they are, we can start leading them down the path of, here's your service desk, here's your data center, because we're not those things anymore. We're just managing the tech stack. We found this amazing company, Summit, that we've partnered with, and they are now our anchor service desk. That's how I see this happening. If that's a shared view. We're not trying to white label or hide who you are. We want you to be proud to say that you're working with the MTP and helping develop it as an anchor, because for a master plan to work for every account manager that's ever going to come to us with their tech plans that they need help managing, We're going to have, and hopefully Summit grows and gets big enough where we have dozens of technicians and we're the authority leading the way in IT management. And now other businesses are looking to us because we're the authority and we're the ones that are now, MSPs are gone. Now we have where you get yourself a dedicated an account manager, IT manager, that's fractional, that can handle so many tech plans. And they're managing your tech plan in a very modern, best practices kind of way. And we keep it as simple and straightforward as possible. And what we've learned is verticals here within the tech plans. We're going to get to a point where we're going to say, hey, veterinarian master tech plan, the lawyer master tech plan. The more we iron this out, the more we get it better. That's what we're starting to see. What do you mean by that? Like they should call us still first, and then we get you. Oh, we'll do all the billing. Yeah, so an account manager, will pay you, not the clients. Oh, is that not what you were meaning? The clients need to pay you directly? No, 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 no. So the account manager manages the budget, manages the plan, and the stack. Yep, all that is managed by the account manager. And Jay, we were talking about that yesterday, right? And none of this is ironed out. Like, I want you to know that if there is something that you're like, I don't like that. Well, I want to talk around that because again, my end goal here is yeah. Jay, what's your thoughts? What you're saying is you'd rather us be doing all the billing and then paying you us like Navicore and Cincy PCS paying you directly for the clients that that's exactly right. Yeah, we want to make sure. So here's a few things I want you to understand. I want to win always. If there's three variables, then there needs to be three W's. If there's six variables, then there needs to be six W's. Um, the only way we can take an L on any of these is if there's more equations where they do get wins and they're willing to take a loss in this equation, but there's these other equations where they're getting a win, then okay, maybe we let someone take an L. But if we can at all times, we're trying to give everybody a big number. Well, you and me both, my friend, you and me both. Because I think what these guys have done feels illegal to me, but I'm new to the whole system. Like it's all right. So where we're in a pinch too. We're struggling financially. So you've already helped out tremendously with what you've done. What I want to get down to is workstations and servers, the agents on them, the backups, um, and the service desk. That's where you guys are coming in for us crutch, I believe, right, Jay? Well, the way we do it, just so you know how we do it, we set up the tenant of the client and their phone system. We set up a support app for that client, and they email their own support desk. When they email that, it gets forwarded to wherever we want to forward it to. Now, phone number is the same way. We give them their own phone number, and they call it. And when there's a call tree, and number one is for technology or IT issues, it'll get forwarded to your service desk number. You don't have to change anything. The clients don't get any number. Now, we do want at some point a dedicated phone number that is watched 24/7. That's only given to managed clients. We don't want, Nancy and Bill at home on a Sunday calling us this line, because this line is for when a business goes down, not when you can't print to your printer on a weekend. We want a phone number. We have a phone number for business line that if you call it, you're being billed for it because it's after hours and, all that good stuff. I don't know how you have your stuff set up right now, but it should make it an easy transition with the way we have things set up. What is it? If you have what? Yeah. And that's what we want to. That's one of the things we want to know, because I have a feeling what I'd like you to do is also take on all sales eventually. Any computer sales that we do, you know, anytime we sell a server or anything. What I want you to know is anytime we add a server, we want what I'm looking for. If you're willing to do this, and again, this is just we're spitballing here. I don't want to insult you either, so don't take this bad if it does seem insulting. So, what I want to do is find out between 2026 and the end of 2028, that 3 year span. That's the next master tech plan. We are working right now before the next tech plan, so all this kind of happened at the ideal time, because we're rearranging and have been looking at what's going to be the tech plan for 2026. When we put a tech plan in play, we know that prices can change in the middle of a tech plan. What we try to do before the tech plan kicks in is make sure that we have our pricing and everything set for the next 3 years. So, and if somebody comes to us, if we go to a client and say, hey, we have to raise your workstation prices up $5 per workstation or $10 per workstation, we have to be able to justify that. We have to be explained, because we tell our clients that we are fighting hard to keep your budget the same for the next 3 years. And if we can't, there's a damn good reason why we can't. We're going to explain that to you. So, if we start, that's something that I will want. Yeah, because I don't want to deal with sales right now. Right now, nobody's getting any of that money, because I have my clients set up with their own Dell account to go to Dell Direct and buy things. If you would, if there's a better way to do it where there's money being made through you, I would rather you get that revenue if possible, because my clients don't want to deal with it anyway. Um, well, so for our clients, just because of how Microsoft has made it so hard to be a CSP anymore, um, what I they are, and the world's getting crazier and bigger, so I can get it. I do get it. What we're doing right now is part of the beautiful thing about the MTP, and this is a point of growth. New clients, yes, reactive clients all day long, and understanding the difference between reactive, proactive, and managed. Reactive clients, yes, we want to set them up with their own tenant, but we're going to make a profit margin off of the licensing. We're going to, bill for that as they evolve. Like all my clients, my top three clients, they each pay their own Microsoft because they've evolved to manage. So I could see us starting off setting up a billing account through us as a partner and selling licensing if you can do that. Is that what you can do? And then when they mature to be a managed client and they want to have full control of their own tech stack and own and pay their own bills, that's easy for us to do that. We just wait till that last rotation of enrollment for those licenses, and don't let them renew. We set up the new billing account and fire them up in the new billing account through their name and their account number, and they're off to the races. It's been a while. Again, I don't know. They change it every 2 or 3 years. But my bottom line is if we can get a flat rate per workstation agent, per a server agent, and then for basic entry calls, I know you have something around 1 to 500 computers and this and that, and a flat rate for calls. I know that the initial 2,500 a week, I don't think we would not be able to maintain that. I don't think that was something we would. Well, if we're just focused on mine, and we're just focused on my end users and not all the users that go through the systems. For instance, the ones that host the Dell servers or the servers for Dell, we have people from Dell, Walgreens, Under Armour, all these different big brands that go in because we're hosting applications that they're using for their marketing and asset needs. So there's hundreds of users there, but there's only 20 users in the company. So I know there's 18 at Fisher. Wegman has 60 users, and then AP Schweitzer has 6. So less than 100 users I have. Yeah. Workstations close to 50ish. We have a few kiosks and a few shared assets. Very few. Correct. We have a lot more Microsoft licensing than we do assets. Correct. We consider a workstation that's assigned. We call it an assigned workstation. That's what we have roughly 50 of. And I can get you an exact number because we need an exact number for servers and workstations. I'm assuming that's for your Datto. Now, does your Datto do Microsoft 365 backups, or is that a different platform? There's no, and you guys have a Cove account, correct? And if we prefer Cove, do we get Cove for you? Well, are you working to get off of Cove by 2029 or 2028? Well, then we don't want, because remember, we're looking from 26 to 29. If we're trying to get rid of Cove, why? Yeah, that. Yeah, don't worry. Listen, what I want to. So here's what I need from my Anchor service desk. I need to know what is your standard backup software for 365. What is your standard for workstations? Which one do we recommend as a status quo? Like, and I get you have. Do you ever feel like you have things kind of like fragmented and kind of all over the place? Do you ever get overwhelmed with how much of your tech stack is all over the place? Yeah, I saw that. So it gets more of the back end of the tenant, just not the file level. Conditions and stuff like that. Does it do like conditional access backups and things of that nature? See, I what I want to know is it's got to be cost effective. Because listen, the master tech plan is exactly that. It's the master tech plan. Our phone system, for instance, we use Twilio, 3CX, and Yealink phones. Like it takes those three things to make up the phone product that we have. Now, we've switched from Call Tower to or Appia to Call Tower now to Twilio or whatever. Clients never knew anything different. Um, and if a client is too small, because that's 250 a month, some clients are like, well, I can go to Alta Fiber and get it for $60 a month for one line. Like we needed something to compete with that. So we have two products for phones. We have Teams, which is for 1 to 5 users, and then we have 3CX for 5 users and up. Now, some businesses may have a hybrid because they like the convenience of having the Teams phone along with their phone system. Uh, we, it's not that we have multiple phone options. We have the phone option that's right for this type of client and the one that's right for this. Like, so we want options, but we want to keep them. That's something I hope I can help bring to the table too, is helping you minimize, have a better tech stack. Yeah. So 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 basically for each workstation, knowing what like because it's 50 now. So what I'd like to try to stay away from if it's option is away from well, you're in the 0 to 50 user, now you're in the 100 to what like we have 50 machines and we add another one, there's a set price on each device. So every time we add a server, boom, it goes up that much. Uh, so give me a layout of something like that. And then one thing I like, yep. And that's for 3 years. Remember, think of the end of 2028 if you can, because I don't want to be like halfway in the tech plan and in 2027 you're like, hey, by the way, I have to raise my prices on you $10. Well, why didn't you think about that when we were talking? Because I would have that price from the beginning all the way till 2028 because that's what we're trying to accomplish here. Um, and then what I want is to make sure you're getting enough revenue based off of what I'm bringing. The license usage that alone will increase your. You should make something off of that. I'm not asking for whatever you pay. I need my service desk to pay their technicians well. I need them to be healthy and happy and showing up to answer those phones and be positive and making my end users feel like they have a great IT department. So whatever it takes that to happen, that's what I'm looking for. And for you guys, like I created this, and we haven't used this in a long time, but I'm using it as an example. I don't know if you guys, my screen's still up or not, but for instance, all of our PBXs, we used to have this here. So if you wanted to get to a PBX, you can click on any of these. I don't know if any of these even still work. Nope. We've moved everybody to the cloud, I hope, by now. Our partner portals, if we need to go buy something or do something, I set everything up to where we can get to everything through a click. And even all of our IP address, this is so sloppy compared to what we have now, like our subnets. How are you guys tracking everything internally for you? And would there be a benefit of having somebody help Get Summit have a clean virtual representation of their business? Like the new one I'm developing for Navicore, wherever the hell it is. That mouse, come here. This is going to replace the one we had for, here. And I can get to all of our client, just clicking this right here. Here's all of our client tech plans that we manage. If I want to get to their folders to see, their worksheet that we're working on, I can click on a client and go in. Well, I moved everything to Navicore. That's right. And Jay, we need to get on that. I need to get with you to get you access to all those files. We have an agent here that we can talk to that has access to all the data and documentation. That's broken now because I moved everything. Anyway, do you think you would benefit from having an organized playbook like this for Summit? Yeah, who manages all for you? Who sets up all those procedures and workflows? Like we had a lot of cool little workflow things that we did, like in the ticket system. If you mark something yellow, which told it that was high priority, we didn't use it for that. We just said, hey, if it's marked yellow, that's for account managers need to look at that because that's the technician saying, hey, account managers, when you go to the PSA and look at the tickets and you see yellow popping out, that's them yelling for help for you. So mark them yellow. And if we mark it orange, that means, hey, account manager is pushing for a technician to get back to him on this item because we're all in there all the time. And that color popping out at you, it helped. Like those little things that you do, cleaning up all the tickets and making sure that they're all closed if they're actually closed. Because we used to have like 900 tickets in our damn queue, and like some of these people have died and are not here anymore. Like close these old tickets. Do you guys have that problem right now? Do you rotate them at all? Do you rotate them all? That's good. I know. That's why I was trying to say we got 2 minutes left here. So a lot of positive vibe and energy in this conversation. I like the fact that get us the pricing. What we want to do is make the MTP alive, give people like Jay and myself a platform. And I think there's going to be a great synergy between you and 3Z. I don't know if you guys have talked much yet, but we all are. But they're a great couple, and he started that company in the 90s, and he's sitting on a gold mine. He just doesn't know it. We need to take advantage of that. And Eric's a great guy, and we need to do well for him. So I really believe if we get our shit together here and you bring us in and we make this MTP thing happen and get the sales funnel rolling and everything going smooth and giving everybody a great experience, I want to help coordinate and I like to play conductor. So if you guys are willing to work with me, I'd love to make this happen. Jay, any thoughts? He just listens most of the time. So there you go. Valuable words from Jay. Well, I'm also consider having me. I would love to come in and help your tech plan and your tech stack and your services. That's what I want to do. I'm willing to give that to you. If you help me with my 3 clients that I have, help Jay get out of his pickle. I want to come in. I want to help you and do the training and get you where, because it's going to help me get better at what I'm doing too. Especially if all my clients are set up with SharePoint the same way, and all I got to do is give each one of your technicians access to the tech at the client domain, and they can get in there and fix or solve whatever they need and support the teams. Oh, it's so beautiful. Yeah, coming in and showing you guys how you're already paying for this because you guys you're on 365, right? Let's take full advantage of it. Let's make it happen. Yes. All right. All right. Jay, do you want to hang on for a minute so we can chat? Or, yeah, I'll give you a call in a second, Jay. Thanks, Kevin. What's up, Chief? Uh, so, how do you feel like that went?
I think it went good. He seems open to a lot of it. We didn't get into the nuts and bolts as much as I wanted to, but that's fine. The VA is calling me. Let me grab that real quick.
Yep, I'll be here. What nuts and bolts did you want to get into?
Just, you know, uh, pushing the how we're going to handle Meraki's and servers, but we need. I guess we just need more. We'll start with the basic pricing and.
Well, I think right now what he's telling me is he does not want any of our clients to interact with him. He wants the clients to interact with us and us just to pay him. He wants the relationship between us and him, not our clients.
All right.
So
now,
that
one thing I didn't bring up in the meeting was if you needed a place for your clients can still call Cincy PCS, and and all that can go through Cincy PCS because, you know, we're already in the lawsuit. I mean, we can't get any more into the lawsuit. If that makes a difference, I don't know what the rules are on what you're allowed to do and what you're not allowed to do, but it sounds like you're doing the exact same thing you were doing with iCore.
How do you get that?
Well, you're still doing everything. The only thing they're doing is they're paying for their Microsoft bill and paying for their VoIP 3CX and whatever license, but everything else is 100% the same.
I'm not doing their data center shit anymore. I mean, I'll configure a server for them and stuff, but I don't have the data center, and I'm paying somebody else for that.
Well, you're still the top dog of the man. You're the only one that has access to the data center. It's just, instead of it being in your basement, it's a 3Z.
The only time you guys lost access to the data center is when the vCenter quit working. And before that, you guys bitched about not having access. I got you guys access, and none of you know how to keep a password or know how to get into it when it's time to get, it just, yeah. First of all, access isn't the issue. I'll give somebody access if they're qualified and we have an agreement between us. I want somebody else to manage this shit. I'm trying to get away from it.
Okay, but I mean, all I'm stating is the fact that nothing's changed except the location of the data center.
The model has changed. I'm not providing services anymore. I'm managing them. I'm managing budgets. No more providing of services.
But the only thing that's changed is who you're paying. Instead of paying Alta Fiber for internet, you're paying 3Z. I'm just stating the way it looks. I don't care either way. I don't see a difference between Navicore and iCore, the way that you're structuring it. But I'm not a lawyer.
Yeah, the way it was before. The only thing I'm billing my clients now is for VCIO. The rest of it is getting billed as pass-through, essentially. And I hope to get a cut off of each one of those services that I'm managing. So, for instance, I'm going to have to start paying Summit, let's say $25 per workstation, whatever his price he comes up with. Hopefully it's no more than 25. But if it's $25 per workstation, and I'm charging $45 a month per workstation, I'm not the one that owns the account with the RMM anymore. I'm paying a third party to do it. I am just managing it, the cost of it, pushing it through to somebody else. There's another service desk answering it. Do I help with escalation? Yeah, I'm the guy that knows everything. That's how I make a living, just like my cameras and my computers. They can't take that stuff from me because that's how I make my living. I can still do the same work that I do. I can still manage technology. I can still configure servers for people. My business before was delivering 8 services, and I had just started VCIO. I'm not going to call it VCIO. It's got to be called fractional CIO or something different completely. I don't know what to call it yet, but that's part of developing the whole new business, the new structure. I'll know more after I talk to my attorney. That's why I haven't even started Navicore yet. I got to make sure that my model is working based off of everybody I consulted with so far and the other attorneys I talked to that just gave me some general information but couldn't really give me legal advice because they're not representing me. I'm on the right track. What fucked me over last time is I didn't have liability insurance. Don't you have liability insurance?
Yeah.
So you should be good.
Why?
Because you did nothing wrong. None of us did. Kevin did something wrong. Aren't you putting a claim on your insurance for this?
I called them. They said I don't have whatever that specific coverage is for them to represent me.
Then what good is the insurance then? Because all my insurance did was covered my fucking equipment and shit.
If your basement filled up with water, then the data center would be covered.
That's what I had. So you had the same type of insurance. Like, what insurance do we fucking need?
You need professional services, errors and omissions coverage.
And shouldn't our fucking agents known that, or brokers known that when they fucking signed us up, that's the kind of service? Like, that's what I don't understand is why none of this makes sense.
Well, I mean, would you want to pay another $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 a year for it?
If it was required to avoid shit like this, yes. I wouldn't be happy about it, but if it needed to be paid, I would like to know about it beforehand. I'd probably model things and charge people a little differently. Come up with an extra $1,000 a month. Fuck.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, you should mimic my model. VCIO will be the very top item on the invoice, and then everything else will be passed through. VCIO, that's yours. That's your profit. The rest of it gets broken down and thrown into a make the company better again fund.
Yeah. What are we doing with the Twilio sub account?
What do you mean?
Are we moving it to Cincy PCS, or is it moving to Navicore, or is it staying at Icora?
I don't know yet. I didn't even start on that. I got to get these phone systems moved. That's actually something I'm working on this week. I don't know yet, Jay.
Okay.
But I'll make sure. Here's what I will make sure of. All of our clients will be good and everything will be up and running as long as I have something to do about it. This is a very big equation. I hope you know that.
No, I do.
All right. I'm trying to wrap my head around what's happening. So I need to get with Eric, figure out a cost. Can you help me get that? When are you leaving?
Friday morning.
And Sean's going to Summit to start working.
You mean Alan?
That's what I meant, Alan, yeah.
Possibly, if things get ironed out in the next 2 days.
Such as?
I don't know if I can lose Alan yet because things aren't finished. I gotta grab this call.
All right, let's talk in the morning. See you.